Okay, I'm going to weigh in on this Duck Dynasty thing. I believe the interview that Phil Robertson gave was set up from the get-go. It was set up by people doing the interview who specifically wanted to draw out Phil Robertson's beliefs about homosexuality, plain and simple. And Phil, who is very direct spoken, gave them all they bargained for and more. So, Phil is a fundamental Christian and believes in the Bible, the good book, just like I was taught to believe in it. In the Bible, in both the Old and New Testament, it is very clear that homosexuality is a sin. Sorry, but that's the way it is, along with any other sexual act that deviates and departs from God's word regarding marriage in a man and a woman. This means that adultery, fornication, all of them are sin and will keep you out of heaven. And Phil made that plain in his interview. Here, let me move this so you can see me. That's my good friend Buck back there in the back. Now, he also made clear that although sinners would not go to heaven, that any sinner could be redeemed through Jesus Christ, just like Phil had been redeemed from his life of sin and sex and drugs and all of that. But that part of the interview you won't see. They won't show that because it does not fit with their narrative. And what is their narrative? Well, it's simply to make any Christian look like a wild-eyed fanatic who hates everyone and wants to impose their beliefs on other people, sort of like fundamental Islam. They can't stand the fact that that's just not the case, but they want it to be, and so they try to make it that way. And so that part of Phil's interview that didn't make that clear is conveniently left out of the narrative. So they drew him out on homosexuality. And he said what he felt about a man and a woman. And he said it plain, and he said it direct, and in some ways you could say he was pretty graphic about it. But that's because Phil is a very plain spoken individual from Louisiana. The people interviewing him knew that. And they were looking for words that they could string together to try to condemn him. You know, A&E knows that. They hired the guy. And that's one of the reasons they hired him, because he is so plain spoken for their reality TV. And they hired his family, and it's done very well. And it's done very well precisely because these people are plain spoken. They act and carry on in a normal, everyday fashion. There's nothing spit and polished about them, and many, many Americans love that. But the progressive left and the liberals do not. It is clear that such lifestyles and standards grate on them. They're angry about it, and they want to do away with it. They always have wanted to do away with it. My entire life of 57 years has seen them trying to fundamentally change and do away with Christian values and the family. That's what they do. So when this man stands up and states his views in such plain language, it grates on them. It makes them mad. They can't have that. Yeah, the very liberals who love to preach to us about tolerance are among the most intolerant people on earth. Because their brand of tolerance simply means this: you must agree with our version of multiculturalism and diversity, or you are the enemy, and you must be destroyed. And they will malign you, they will speak bad about you, they'll try to destroy you in the public image and do away with you, because that's who they are. That's who they are. You will be treated to their anger and their angst. And that is what really is going on here with Phil and this whole thing. But like with Chick-fil-A, they're finding that, oops, it's not working. It's backfiring. Everything associated with Duck Dynasty is flying off the shelves. This program, wherever it ends up, is going to be huge, because now, in addition to everything else that was good about it, they've given people a compelling reason to support it. And they're going to support it. That's what's really going on, wherever it ends up. And they just can't handle that. They don't see it. But that's what they're about. They're about, as Barack Obama told us, I will remind everyone, he is going to fundamentally change America. But Americans, whether it's for health care, whether it's the IRS, whether it's the NSA collecting all your emails and phone calls, whether it's foreign policy, like in Libya, and the death of a ambassador and a couple of very brave Navy SEALs, people are finding out that their type of change is not good for them, either individually or for us as a nation. And so when these type of things come up, people are speaking their mind and letting everyone know. And you know what? The DNC has to be scared of what's going to happen in this next election, because they have so terribly handled everything they've tried to do from the economy on, that it's very plain that they are not only disingenuous, they are absolutely dishonest and are willing to lie straight to your face about whatever it is they're doing so they can get their way. And that's what they're doing with Phil Robertson. And that's my 2 cents. Thanks.